Well, everyone, we get to finally talk about the iPhone 7 and do a mid-year review on this thing. Essentially, everything that's changed for the most part from early on to about now when I did my early review. And honestly, a lot of things have changed, and I'm kind of going to go on a rant probably in this video, to be honest. But what I will tell you is the iPhone 7, in terms of a body standpoint, still is consistent. It's not changed anything in that, externally. Same 4.7-inch panel, Touch ID 2 on the front, lightning port at the bottom, same camera, same everything like that. But really the thing that changed that would kind of even affect the body a little bit was the release of the iPhone SE 3rd generation, which some of you probably already forgot by now. This was a budget iPhone that Apple released, and since it pretty much retained the same design as the iPhone 7 for the most part, no glass on the back or anything on the 7, it's almost in the same body. Because of that, the iPhone 7 kind of still feels a little bit relevant in terms of the body standpoint. Still, it wouldn't be the iPhone I would think of if I'm thinking of a modern device, but I still think it kind of helps out the body of some of these older iPhones, so I think that's kind of a benefit, although I think the design is outdated. Although, whatever I'm going to say in this video, I am kind of saddened by the fact that this iPhone actually didn't get iOS 16. Now, iOS 16 was a version of software that Apple just released in a beta form, and during this specific area of this iPhone coming out, we pretty much saw that this iPhone was we expected this iPhone to get iOS 16. There's no other way to say it. We thought, at least I personally thought, because Apple, I just didn't think they would go ahead and drop support of several different iPhone generations at one time. They also recently dropped the iPod Touch 7 generation, but they were just selling it like 2 months ago, and that also had the same chipset as the iPhone 7. So because of that, I figured we would be in a situation where the iPhone 7 is still going to be supported. There's also different iPads that have this chipset inside of it, so I also didn't think Apple would do anything about it, meaning they would keep supporting this, software for the most part. But we kind of, found out that this iPhone is not going to be getting that next generation of software, which really puts this iPhone in a weird situation. One, it's not an outdated iPhone. It is, quite a bit older, 6 years old now. But when you look at the iPhone 6S right before it, that iPhone got so many extra years of software support from its, previous iPhone, which was the iPhone 6, that was one of the best-selling iPhones of all time. And Apple cut that life short early on that device, which is crazy. On the iPhone 7, on the other hand, Apple actually pretty much cut the life short on this device as well, which makes absolutely no sense in my opinion. They could have easily supported this thing, and the craziest thing is with the iPad 5th generation, right? This iPad ended up getting iPadOS 16, as well as the iPad Pro 9.7-inch that I also have, and surprisingly, both those iPads have the A9 chip or an A9 variation chip. The iPad 5th generation has the A9 chip inside of it. That's from the iPhone 6S with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Just that in and of itself doesn't make any sense. How is the iPad OS 16, being brought over to these older iPads with older chipsets and less RAM than something even like an iPhone 7 Plus? That iPhone has a newer chipset with the Apple A10 Fusion chip inside of it and more RAM with 3 gigabytes of RAM. This in and of itself made absolutely no sense to me, and I'm still kind of flabbergasted in hearing and seeing what Apple's response is for this. Personally, like I said, it doesn't really make too much sense to me. I feel like Apple could have easily went ahead and supported this iPhone, the iPhone 7, with the next generation of software. That in and of itself really makes me think that Apple is going to be doing some really weird changes. And when I look at what Samsung and Google are doing, they're increasing the software longevity of their devices. Apple is kind of going in the opposite direction. They're shrinking the longevity. Now, 6 years is still a long time for these phones to be supported, but I just don't appreciate how Apple kind of, balances and stays and kind of says, oh, we care about sustainability, we care about, recycling, we care about this and that, but they drop support of so many different products at the same time, rendering them almost outdated, and then it makes people have to be kind of forced to update. So personally, I would love to hear your thoughts about this, and I would say the iPhone 7 in the middle of 2022 is in a really rocky situation. One, I probably wouldn't recommend buying it, but two, because we thought this thing was going to be getting iOS 16, we have a lot of iPhone 7 and 7 Plus owners, and a lot of iPhone 6S owners too, but more so the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus owners who are kind of shocked about this decision from Apple, and there's really not much we can do. If you want, I would probably recommend going up to the iPhone 8 or iPhone 10. I think those generations of iPhone, since they are the lowest supported iPhones now, and those are really the lowest ones I'm going to recommend to people now, but Still, I think the 7 Plus could have probably gotten the next version of software, and I think it's pretty crazy that they didn't support those phones, to be honest. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.